What is up, my people? JaxB.TheRipper here. So we're finally gonna do my yearly favorites. I haven't done it's been like 3 months since I did a metal monthly favorites. To be honest, I was kind of like just saving it like towards the end. I was like, you know what, I might as well just do a yearly favorites. I might as well just, especially because I found a lot of good music towards the end of the year. So I was like, yeah, I might as well just wait till, the coming new year and just might as well just make the yearly favorites for 2019. I'm just gonna let you guys know, this is not a 2019 best album reviews. I know a lot of people are doing that. If you've been following my channel for a while, I don't do metal album reviews or any album reviews. Well, why would I want to go that far out of metal? I don't know. But I don't do any of that shit. I don't like it. I barely watch people that do that. I mean, there's a couple channels here and there, and sadly Cover Kill Nation no longer does it anymore. He just had his last video yesterday on the 2nd of January. I don't really like it because it's just your opinion at the end of the day, and that's fine. But it's like at the end of the day, it's like I want to listen to an album myself and enjoy it myself, and if I like it or dislike it, it'll be in the metal monthly favorites like I always do every 2 months. It should be monthlies, I know. Sometimes I do a monthly, because sometimes there's a lot of shit I listen to in 1 month, and sometimes I'm repetitive. Just to let you know that this is not it, okay? However, yes, there are some 2019 albums in here, and some of it is generic, like, I don't want to say generic, just stuff I've been listening to from a band, and it's all over the place. So let's get into that. So I am going to start off with a 2019 album, even though I just went on a tangent that this isn't, but I'm going to start with one album I did not like, and that is for the Lacuna Oil one, Black Anima, I believe it's called. Yeah, sorry, y'all know I have a fucked up memory, so I have to keep looking at my notes. I like Lacuna Coil, and I like Christina Scabbia. I just think sometimes the problem with her voice and with Lacuna Coil, it clashes, and I can't hear her, and that's what I felt. That was the problem with this album, and really it just wasn't memorable. It wasn't anything new. It was just too generic to their type of music. I don't even know if that made sense. I don't even know what I said, but it just wasn't my favorite. I know a lot of people, especially Lacuna Coil fans, love the album. I just wasn't one of them. I mean, I love Lacuna Coil, don't get me wrong. I love Christina Scabbia, but this album was just not talking to me or singing to me whatsoever. Lágrimas Profunde, Bleeding Stars. It's a typical goth name, I know. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to laugh, but it's funny. I first heard of them, I think, when I did Metal Around the World Germany, and I think it was them, and I was not a big fan of them. And the guy had like the typical goth deep voice and everything, and it's good to a point, but sometimes it's just a voice that I get tired of listening to. But I'm guessing now they have 2 different singers, so maybe they always had 2 singers in the band and I just didn't know that, and I just didn't look more into it. I got into it as he was vocally singing into the pain, the beautiness, the almost eroticness and the romance that you expect from like a gothic metal band or gothic anything, really. Because when you think of goth, at least when I think of something that's goth, I think of something old-fashioned. I think of something romantic. I think of something like with pain, sometimes suffering, but it's more like on the emotional side. I don't want to say like physically or anything. And I really felt that with that album. It really like sang to me. I don't like saying spoke to me, because I feel like talking like this. So I'm just gonna say sang to me. Kingdom Solicitude, and as well as Mother of Doom and Father of Fate, they were probably my favorites from this album and the ones that stand out the most, and those are the ones like I recommend you guys to at least listen to. And maybe you're not into gothic metal like I'm not into gothic metal, but if you're not really into it either like me, I suggest you at least go listen to those songs because they're really good. And that's a lot coming from me, because you guys know I'm not really into like goth music in general. I mean, there's some groups or bands that I am into, but I mean, y'all already know how I feel about Typo Negative. So this is something I really highly recommend. Polynesia Moonglow. I hated the first song. I didn't think I was going to get into more of the album. I know we're getting into albums of 2019 after I said, bear with me, you'll see how I get all over the place in a minute. I kind of organized them a little bit, even though I noticed we're kind of in Germany right now. But once it got into the songs of Book of Shallows and Moonglow, that's it. It hit it off right there. In case you guys don't know, Jeff Tate is on there. Jeff Tate was Queensryche. Voice was very fitting for this album. I really recommend you guys to listen to this album. It is power metal. It's power metal, symphonic metal actually. If you guys aren't familiar with the lead singer, he's from, I can never say the name right, it's like Edguy, also another German good band. I recommend you listen to that band as well. But this is like his project, like his own kind of like project, like operatic metal project. So he always has different singers, or sometimes it's just him. He even did one with the lead singer of from the Scorpions. Definitely give this band a shot, even if you don't want to listen to Moonglow. But Moonglow was a really good album. Megahertz. Okay, if you're a Rammstein fan, there's no reason why you can't be a Megahertz fan. They're better than Rammstein. I love Rammstein, don't get me wrong, I fucking love them, but there are better bands that are in that industrial kind of dancing kind of, I know, dancing metal. I know that you guys don't want to hear that, but there are better bands than Rammstein, believe it or not. The Germans could tell you that themselves too. They're probably like, yeah, we like them, but there's better shit than them. So they probably could tell you that as well. It really gets into like that 90s industrial type of feel with the metal to it. And the way I found out about them was through their original singer, who has a band called Icebreaker. I intentionally heard of Icebreaker first before listening to Megahertz, and I found out he came from Megahertz. I don't know if, I know they have a new lead singer to Megahertz. I'm not sure if it's the same. I have lost, you know, like I haven't gotten into the storyline with them. I don't know, maybe the lead singer from Icebreaker went back, or maybe he goes back and forth like a lot of people do. But Icebreaker it has metal influence in it, but they're known to be called like new German harness, basically. So it is more danceable, it is more electronic meets rock. So it's more under the subgenre of rock than the subgenre of metal. Just keep that in mind in case you're like, this is way too fucking different. Like, yes, I understand. But I like listening to them both. And the first album I heard from Icebreaker was Eyesight, and I went back to that. I think that was in 2010. Well, the album, I listened to them I think a few years after that. But that was a really good album to listen to. I was just reminiscing. There was a lot of reminiscing with music for this year for me. I guess because we're coming out of the end of the decade, and I love the 2000s, especially when we hit 2009 and up. My favorite, this has to have been my favorite decade, to tell you the truth. Definitely something different. Maybe you guys are not going to get into it, but if you guys want to give it a shot, go The Gathering. So I was listening to them when I was doing metal around the world, Netherlands. I've heard of them before. I just never really got into, well, not that I never really got into it, I just never did any digging more into their stuff, and I eventually found out about them through Within Temptation. It's such good stuff, at least their earlier stuff. I didn't really listen to anything with their newer singer. I believe their older singer was named Anik, I believe was her name. But that was such good, like 90s, like I want to call it like its own psychedelic of the 90s, you know what I mean? There was like kind of grunchiness to it. There is kind of doom and even maybe a little bit of death influence. They're kind of all over the place with their sound, and I really like that about bands, because I feel like gives them more room to grow and like to experiment with their music. But somehow I feel like they're able to keep it like their own sound no matter what, even when they're doing crossovers or going to new stuff. So The Gathering is definitely a band that I recommend you guys to listen to, especially if you're really into like 90s stuff. Okay, so let's see if I could say this. Now we're in the Netherlands. We were just in Germany, now we're in the Netherlands. I somewhat planned that out. You gotta really be harsh with a G, but I probably failed. I'm sorry, Dutch people, don't hate me. I try, at least, I really do. I'm not like most Americans here that are just like, oh, I'm just gonna like say it very Americanized. I try, trust me, I try to like fit your custom or your language. I try to pronounce as much as I can, but I fail. So this supposedly when I was doing some research on it, they were supposed to be like an international black metal type of band, but however now they're just just in the Netherlands only, because I think they were going back and forth with Norway a lot. So Obscura, and I wrote this down because I was watching one of her interviews. The lead singer Obscura has said that she was the founder. She is the founder, I mean, and it's considered to be like old school black metal with like really black Icelandic influence type of black metal. If you haven't heard like black Icelandic metal, you should if you're into black metal. You can hear the iciness. That's all. Like that one's really, their metal's very cold. Along, like if you heard of Greenland, I have done metal around the world Greenland, in case you guys don't know. I was able to find a couple black metal bands there. Very, very good. Damn, I should have. I think that's gonna be my next metal monthly favorites, because I'm gonna go back to listening to that. She even said there's some psychedelic to it as well, and I do agree with her. I've been listening to a couple of her albums. It is very good. This is pure satanic metal. Like, she is a Satanist. I have nothing against that, in case you guys are like gonna come at me like, why you're saying that? I'm just saying. Like, I kind of find it annoying when black metal bands are like singing about Satanism, but they don't know anything about it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's kind of the same thing with like paganism or something. You know, they're just like, oh, let's just sing about demons and goblins, but yet they're like really have no idea what they're singing about. Or when they're putting symbols on their cover albums or their t-shirts, they really don't know what it means, but she knows. So that's what I think I admire about her. Even though I'm not like a Satanist or whatever, I'm just pagan. So I really admire that about her, that she knows what this religion's about, and then that she really, like, you know, knows what she's talking about in her lyrics. Although I get really annoyed watching those interviews sometimes with her, because every question is like, so how does it feel to be like an all-female black metal band? Like, dude, like, how does it feel to... Yeah, those questions get so annoying. I'm like, really? Like, do you have to, like, what's the difference? Who cares? I just care about talent. I don't care about what's in between your legs, unless it comes to that moment. Sup, future editing Jax here. So I forgot a band from the Netherlands, and that's Sister of Suffocation. I feel so bad, especially because I love Emily, and I don't know her on that personal level, but she's a cool person and she's really nice to talk to from the times I've talked to her. So if you guys aren't aware, which you should, they have their album that came out like around March, I think, of 2019. I mean, Humans Are Broken. That was one of like, I think like their groundbreaking albums that really put them on the map. So if you guys haven't heard of Sister of Suffocation, please do. They have such a huge love, you could tell, for this music, more on the extreme death metal side. Highly recommend you to listen to them if you haven't yet already. And yes, look, Eddie's giving me his heart. He's my boyfriend. Elder Wind, the Cooler of the Night. Okay, I understand there's not a lot of you guys that like black metal. Here's a reason why I think you should listen to this one. This is like an atmospheric black metal from, I think it's a one solo project kind of thing, one-man solo project. I mean, I recommend you guys to listen to Elder Wind, because this is like nature hitting you in the face, as I read somebody quoting one time. This is such good atmospheric black metal. Like, there's a lot of feeling to it, there's a lot of emotion to it. Like, I really feel like you could connect with this music spiritually. And you guys, in case you haven't seen my one video, my Spotify playlist, where I have like a certain section for like spells, that I do when I'm doing witchcraft or whatever, like, I guarantee you this music, if you're like more on like that spiritual path like I am, this will probably work well with the heart chakra and the throat chakra, because I'm pretty sure, because I was working with this album a lot during my heart chakra, that woke it up. And it's just, I don't know, do you just feel like you're connecting with nature, and you could like kind of think of it almost like, okay, there's some of you guys out there that like to go maybe hunting or fishing or just like hiking or something. Let's say you can't do it, that you're just stuck at a job that's going nowhere. This is like such a good escape to it, because you feel like you're going there. So that's why I recommend this black metal band, because the music is so good. If you don't like the vocals, that's fine, but the music itself is such an escape from reality, and that's why I recommend you to listen to this band. Also, I gotta thank Classy Lonnie Metal for recommending me that band. I believe he recommended me on like Instagram or something. Nocturnal Mortem. Now this is like a folky black death metal band almost, kind of maybe under like the power metal branch. I mentioned them when I was doing Metal Around the World Ukraine, and this is a band that you really need to look into. They're very fun to listen to. Definitely the type you'll want to have like a drink to. I believe, when did I do the Ukraine? Was like in the summertime? I'm not sure. But ever since then, when I found out about this band, I haven't stopped listening to them. It's definitely one of my top favorite bands from like that black metal folkiness right there. And then speaking of more folk metal, we're on Korpiklaani. Now we're moving into Finland here. We were just in Russia and Ukraine, now Finland. Okay, how am I doing this? You can't go wrong with Korpiklaani. You just can't. They're a fun band. They're great to listen to them live. I haven't seen them live, but I've heard their live albums. They're fucking great. It's like a party band. Korpiklaani, I kind of want to say like they're like the party type of metal band like you experienced probably from the 80s, except without like the crappy glam rock and all that shit. Like their music is actually good, even though it is like a lot about drinking and everything. But even though it's a lot about drinking, but it is also about nature, because they are like very folky after all. So one of their songs, oh my god, I forgot the name of it. I'll play like a clip around here, or maybe I'll put it in the background, the music. But one of their songs is really good. Like you can even meditate to it, and then like y'all know, like I'm like not in the same Abrahamic religion as you guys. I do more of a spiritual path kind of thing. This is like good stuff to like meditate to if you really want to. So if you're in that path like me. But yeah, it's really good to drink to. It's really good just to party to. It's really good like if you're just into folk metal. You could like, I don't want to say you could dance, but you could like, I don't know what to call, like do the polka or something like that. You could do, well, they have that one song, Mayhem polka, which is like, I believe it is a Finnish song, like older Finnish song, and they just did their own take to it. So it's a fun fucking band. That's what I've been listening to throughout 2019. I know they just came out with a new song called Jägermeister. They do have a lot of songs dedicated to specific alcohol. So Beast in Black. I am embarrassed to admit this. Okay, so I got a little story here. Okay, so I'm probably gonna say the story too when I do the about the band series I have, where it's like me doing my makeup matching my shirt. Okay, so I liked Beast in Black, but not to the point where I wanted to get invested to them. Like I heard like one song and I just didn't really think much of it. I thought it was a good song, but I forgot what was another popular music video that came out around that time. I think it was like 2016 or 2017, I'm not sure. But there was another like popular music video that came from them, and I was just like, oh, no, I didn't really get into it, right? So I just didn't continue doing any more research on them. So when I went to England to visit my friends, I kind of had a date. Let's just call it a date. I didn't see Beast in Black, but I did see Windrows, but I didn't see Beast in Black. And I was like, oh, forget it, I'm not gonna go see Beast in Black. I mean, I didn't really get into their stuff. Or however, when they were playing and I was up on the balcony and like with my other friends, or getting to know people there, or getting to know guys, so I was like hearing them, I was like, huh, they're actually pretty good live. And you know, if you could win me over live, that's it, like I'm there. So I was listening to more and more, and then right when I was about to go down, they finished. I was like, crap. So but I bought a t-shirt of them. When the show finished, who was headlining? Why can I never remember their name? Probably because I didn't really like them, and I thought I was gonna like them. But the guy that I was like seeing that night, he was like, hey, you want to go finish seeing the third band? I was like, yeah, sure. So then I couldn't find Little Dan anywhere. Eventually I found out that he purposely like abandoned me with that guy, which is good going, bro. So, but I remember seeing the lead singer, I think his name is Giannis, I'm not sure. I remember seeing the lead singer, he was like taking pictures with fans near the merch table, and I'm a shy person. I can't go up to like singers and be like, can I take a picture with you? Especially since I didn't really want to see them, because I didn't think I was gonna like them. I didn't want to be a hypocrite. But then like right when I got the courage, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go and do it. I'm gonna go. I still saw him, he was still up there. But then the guy I was like on a date with, he was like, we gotta go, I found the guys, let's run. I was like, okay. So it's a little story right there. But back to the music. Thank you for listening to that story at least. They have like that 80s rock, but yet Judas Priest style, but yet power metal symphonic all in one. And how the hell did this guy not crack his vocal cords? I don't know, but he is so good. Beast in Black, From Hell with Love has been playing non-stop, as well as their first full album, which was, I think was Berserk, or was it just called, was the self-titled Beast in Black? I am not sure. I should probably have looked that up before doing this. Oh well. But going back to the Berserk thing, them and Battle Beast, their names are inspired by the anime Berserk, in case you're wondering. But I believe I was told by the Fat Samurai guy here on YouTube. But yeah, definitely albums you guys need to go check out. You really need to check out this band. And then we have Sonata Arctica. We're still in Finland. We're still in Finland. The Night Hour, Reckoning Night, Ecliptica. Why? That sounds gross. No. Why did that sound wrong? But those are just albums I'm just always playing, and Full Moon has to be my favorite song from them. If I had to choose one song, it's Full Moon. But for sure, they are great albums, and I recommend you guys to listen to them. I haven't seen them live. I know my cousin didn't like them live, but I haven't personally seen them live to let you know if they're good or not. So, but this is a band that I'm always going back to. I love them. It's just a great feel of like some kind of mystical journey. I don't know. That's usually what I get from power metal. Not all of them. Sabaton is more like war music. Yes, Sabaton's on the list. Sabaton's always going to be on my list. Unless they have to really make like a shitty album. And trust me, that'll probably be an album review I'll do. And I'll just be going insane. Mayhem. Okay. So I have been honest in the past, like even though I like black metal, but for some reason I've never got into Mayhem, and I never knew why. It was definitely a band that took a while to grow on me, along with Dark Throne. I still can't get to Immortal though. I can't stand Immortal, but yet I like Abbott's solo career. I don't know why, I just can't. But I saw Abbott great live, but then quickly after that he, like, you know, we all know about his going into rehab, basically is what he did. Or as he liked to call it, health issues. But this was definitely the year of Mayhem for me. I definitely learned to appreciate them more. I love them more. No, I did not see Lords of Chaos. I did not want to. Rotting Christ, the Heretics. Now we're in Greece. Oh God, do I not have not one American band here? Probably not. I don't know why. Yeah, I do. I got like two. I don't know. I can't really say not one bad thing about the Heretics. The Heretics was such a damn fucking good album. So fucking dark. So fucking... It was... You know what I notice about them is like they're like, you know how I always say I don't like slow music, right? I don't like slow metal. I don't like anything that's why I'm not really into doom metal that much. But with them is like there would be like that soft moment of doom, but then all of a sudden it's just like fast. But it's like they know how to build it up well, and the Heretics is no exception. I really love this. It's so good. I just you know, it's not a very Christian album, let's just say that. Well, not at least in your guys kind of way, but definitely Heaven and Hell and Fire was one of my favorite songs, as well as Fire and God and Fear. Those were like my two best playing for the summertime, and the solos were fucking great on this. That's one thing I will say about like Rotting Christ. That's like their solos are always like they always fucking nail it. Possessed, Revelations of Oblivion. There's really nothing bad I could say about this album. I think we were all waiting for this. We were all waiting for Possessed to make a really great album after a while, and this really does bring you back to like that 1980s, mid-80s feel that they had. There's really nothing I could say badly about this album, except I didn't really care for the intro, but in general, I don't really think I care about intros, you guys. Like, I haven't really listened to an album where I cared about the intros. It's like rap music with their fucking skits. I don't really care about their skits. Okay, so Overkill released their 19th full album. Overkill is this band that they stay the same sound of Overkill. And yet, for some reason, when they make a new album, they know how to do it to a point where it's like, they don't kill their old sound, but they're not really like a new sound either. But at the same time, their old sound isn't very generic. It's like, okay, I already heard that. Do you have anything new? I don't know what it is, but it's like them and Exodus both have that type of feel to them. And that's why I think I really like these two bands a lot. But yeah, there's really nothing bad I could say about this album. And Draka. Now that's, maybe you guys don't remember from Metal Around the World England, where I did with the dance. The dance introduced this band to me. This was the only one I was able to really listen to from that England one. It's British raw atmospheric black metal. Really, I couldn't really find much information. I was trying to find information so I could like tell you guys more about Andrak a little bit. I just know the lead singer was on that reality show. Oh my god, I forgot what it was, but it was like it was like one of those smart shows like Jeopardy, but even smarter. But I just know he was on there. but it is based on okay, I can't say the word Tolkienian mythology, basically like the ones who did like, I think like Lords of the Rings and all that. So it is based on that kind of mythology stuff. His music, no, it is a band, it is a full band. I don't know why I thought it was like a one-man project. I don't know if he's still looking for a drummer though. I don't know. You have to ask the Dans about that. But go listen to Moonglow. Oh god, words. Moonglow. Go ahead and go listen to that album. It is a good album. I was just listening to it before I did this video. Especially if you're like a hardcore black metal fan. I don't see why you wouldn't like this band at all whatsoever. Marijuana, which we all know means marijuana, is a stoner doom metal band from Singapore that was on one of my favorites to listen to from Metal Around the World. I love the singer's voice, I like the psychedelicness to the music, and I love the feel of the music. You can't really go wrong with this band unless you hate all of that I just said. Terriot, now this is a metalcore band, and I'm not the biggest, I mean I do like metalcore, but I don't know enough about it. I just know that I am kind of picky about metalcore, that's for sure, and deathcore. But this is definitely a good band to listen to, and I could definitely hear them. I feel like this band has really good potential to expand. I don't feel like they're just gonna stay in like the metal or hardcore community, because I really feel when I listen to their music they could definitely expand more. Like I could really hear like other subgenres of rock really getting into this band. So far I know they've done good jobs already, like doing opening for like popular bands. I believe they opened for Immure. I don't even know if I'm saying the name right. Immure, I don't know. Don't listen to me. And the last band on here is Cutthroat. Now okay, I believe this is the one from Florida, because there's a lot of bands with the name Cutthroat from all over the place, not just from the United States. This is very like old school, traditional heavy metal. If you're into that, it's very fast. Definitely the type of like, if you're really into that traditional style of heavy metal, to definitely listen to this. They're not together. I don't believe they're together anymore. I'm not sure. I might be wrong, because I found so many bands with the same name, and I was like, even in I just know it was United States, it was traditional heavy metal, but at the same time they could have been labeled as speed metal as well, which I could see that. So this is a good band to listen to, and I highly recommend that if you're more into that. And that is it. Wow, that was a long list. Yeah, I'm back again. I forgot one more band, and that's Windrows from Italy. So they basically sing about like dwarves in particular, and their get-ups and everything when they perform live is fucking great. When I saw them, that was like such a good show. So if you haven't heard of Winter Saga, please do so. Diggy Diggy Hole was like the one that was so fucking popular, and is so fucking like, it stays in your head. It's like tattooed in your head. So definitely give these guys a listen to. And yeah, I think I'm done now. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all take care of your vaginas and have a bonerific day.